It's Mazzy. Good morning. Just woke up. Psychedelic Splendor. If you want to know what this is YouTube video. There's a bunch of psychedelic mandala screensaver type things, and sometimes it's fun to put on when I'm playing music, and it's really early, and I'm warming up the espresso machine, but I thought I'd want to talk about audiophilia. And audiophilia, God, I think there's a salve or a cream to cure that shit. But let's just talk. This is not a room tour per se. This is not a heavy discussion on audiophile and placement of speakers and your room setup. And I want to talk about just me enjoying my music with a good system, decent system. I mean, high end to some people, medium level to other people. And let me talk about that a little bit. So let me get some light here. So I'm going to put some music on. Then I'm gonna go shower and kind of get ready so I can really discuss this properly with you all. And let's enjoy the music. This is the Volume 3 Japanese Groove Disc Guide Wamona A to Z. Japanese mellow, light, funk, disco, and boogie, 1978 to 1988. Now, again, the room I have here is a living area. There's a refrigerator. There's a stove. There's windows. There's a massive fireplace facade. There are framed photographs. There's a wood floor with some throw rugs. So it's not that friggin' dark, dingy man cave where you're relegated to Siberia to play music. I want to enjoy my music where I live. So that's my philosophy. I probably could stop the video here, but let me put this on. I'll go shower and I'll be back and we can discuss this a little more. I literally just woke up. It's 5:30 in the morning here in Seattle. So the Hunt EDA Mark 6 brush. That's a start. That's what I use. That's what I use to brush my records all the time. My turntable guru up here from Hawthorne Stereo. Google it, Hawthorne Stereo in Seattle. You can get great used gear. They're really a good bunch of renegade stereo freaks, not hi-fi, high-end home theater bullshit, but music. Left and right channel stereo and mono music. They have refurbished used gear. They have new gear. If you're in Seattle, check their website. I think they do ship. But anyway, my turntable guru told me this is the brush to get for my Rega RP8. So I'll shower and I'll shave a little bit, clean up a little bit, change, and I'll be back and we'll have this discussion. Okay. So, here's where we're at. This is a video of the state of my listening room, my stereo listening room. This is my room treatment. My room treatment. Coffee. It's a new lovely black mug the archivist gave me, so I'm doing a latte today rather than a cappuccino because black matches my wardrobe, my frequent wardrobe color of choice. Am I an audiophile? That's a question that's been asked so many times. There are people that dump on audiophiles, there are people that praise audiophiles. I would say I'm a music file first, and but I like good sound. I'm not going to talk specifically about the room here, but I like to listen to music where I live. Thus, this is a living room. This is one of those open concept kitchen, living space, fireplace, outside deck. And I have just a little overview of my stereo system. People have asked me, and I had done a room tour about 2 years ago, but I have Bauer & Wilkins 702S2, I believe, speakers. They came out about 3 years ago. British company, made in China. They sound great. I have a old Rotel RSX 1065 integrated receiver, and that's about almost 20 years old now, not quite. And it suited me well. I had to get it fixed at one point when it blew out during the end of I Want You, She's So Heavy on Abbey Road. I thought that song cut 2 minutes too short where it just stops. Turned out my amp blew. I have a OPPO 205 transport. That's my CD DVD transport. And I have a Rega RP8 turntable. Now, in the last year, the only update since that last video was I got an MC, a moving coil cartridge, instead of a moving magnet, which made a huge difference. Records track better. Now, I read the forums and I read people, listen to people on some of these other channels that people are into music, whether it's the vinyl community and beyond. And I'm seeing, the percentage of records, people are getting, a lot of non-fill. You should Google non-fill. I'm not going to get into descriptions of that in terms of record pressings and warped records and scratched and gouged. And there are things like that, but maybe I'm just lucky. I would say out of 100 records, I get one, maybe two at the most, unplayable records. And, a pop and a click here and there, I'm not quite as freaked out about. Although if you're paying for one of these UHQR, like the Miles Davis kind of blue, you want it pretty much perfect if you're paying $100 for a big box and a record. And I've talked about that release, and which is wonderful with a big giant asterisk. You don't need the friggin' box, in my opinion, and it could be even $60, $70 and just give you the record with that beautiful Stoughton cover. But I like to play music where I live, where I enjoy my life, my day-to-day life, where there's a lot of light usually. I mean, this is 6 in the morning now, so there's not a lot of light right now. But I want to enjoy the moment. I want to enjoy the music. And so for me, the music always comes first. And I know that's a cliche. Of course, audiophiles say it's about the music and the music comes first. And frequently you see these massive audiophile sound systems with a record collection like this, or they're streaming. And I'm not against that. I'm not a streamer. So that's kind of where I am. And I just wanted to share that a little bit. I love this setup. I have a sitting area there. I am looking right in front of my sweet spot chair. And when I'm on my own, when I'm listening and I'm really concentrating, this is where I sit. Now, those of you who've seen my other videos, you see another area downstairs in my office, and there's a secondary system, which is a vintage system, really, or somewhat vintage. It has a refurbished pair of JBL L100s, the foam blue grills. A lot of audiophiles don't like those. Those are like a bass reflex speakers, I recall. They're studio monitor type. They're very dry. They're very boomy in a way, but I quite like them in that setting. I mostly play CDs there. I have an old Dual CS5000 turntable, which I got literally in 1986, thinking it was going to be the last turntable I'd ever buy because there would be no more turntables, no more records. You know the story of the CD era. So, and I have a, what do I have? A Rotel CD player down there and a Denon integrated amp. Nothing fancy, but it's fine. That room is dead as a doorknob. You clap. Actually, right now, this is a live room, but it's not a real echoey room. But considering we have all those kitchen appliances right to my left and windows and framed objects to the right and this huge, massive fireplace facade, with the tile wall, I like the sound here. I have a good time here. When I have friends, when we're cooking, when we're drinking, when we're eating, drinking coffee, and we sit here or there, we can roam around the room and it's a good sounding room. It feels live. It's definitely a live room, but I really enjoy it. So all I'm really saying, the bottom line is enjoy your space. You know, if you're one of those obsessives that, you know, you have to get the room treatment here. In fact, people are going to write now and say, you know, Maslov, it's not really good to have a flat screen TV behind your stereo. Put a blanket over it, cover it up, do something. Now my speakers are about 24 inches out from the wall. You really can't see it. They're somewhat towed in to my sweet spot. I have a credenza there. No real noise isolating contraptions or butcher blocks at all. I do have, let's see, what else do I have? I have an Aria, a Rega Aria Phono stage. You can kind of take a look there, just to give you a rough idea. There's a center speaker, but it's not quite centered, I know that. Yet I don't really watch TV right from here very often. So it's skewed, and it's not really a perfect setup for surround. I rarely play surround music, DVDAs or 5.1. I'll check them out once or twice and enjoy the novelty of it, but with music, it's all stereo or mono for me. Do watch a lot of movies, a lot of binge-worthy television shows. I just enjoy the lifestyle of this room, and it works, it suits my purpose perfectly. So, you know, whatever you're seeking out, whatever you're searching for, I see people like searching for the perfect sound always and never satisfied. The perfect speaker, they swap out speakers left and right. Now, as a hobbyist, if that's your thing, all the power to you. I pretty much stick with something for 10, 20 years, usually until it fails or until I get a little bit of a bug. I'm not, you know, beyond getting the audiophile bug or whatever you want to call it, all right, have a different taste in sound, or when I moved, I wanted a different sound when I moved here in this house from San Francisco. It was different than my setup. My setup here in Seattle was different than my setup in San Francisco. So I think it lent to have a new room. The speakers I had were almost 20 years old, and not that there's anything wrong with vintage speakers. The turntable was 40 years old almost, and in fact it was. And I needed a new turntable. I'm all for new turntables, not vintage, but that's just me. I'm a Rega fan, British company. I like their lightweight plinth. Some people think you need to have this heavy, gigantic platter and plinth to have this sort of grounded sound. You know, I like what works for me. If I listen to someone else's system, would I like it more? Possibly. I mean, I do have a speaker that I like lust after in a way. I heard it at two different friends' houses, and I know it's always subjective, but they're DeVore's speaker. DeVore's out of Brooklyn, and DeVore's channel during the pandemic, the owner started talking about music, and it's quite interesting. It's a nice channel. I'll put a link below to DeVore's channel. But his speakers, the pair, usually run new about $12,000. And I'm not in a position, I'm not going to spend $12,000 on speakers. And would they be the right speaker for this room? Again, it's my room, maybe they would, because they would be the speaker that I would want. But I'm enjoying these Bauer and Wilkins. Some people consider B&Ws a brighter speaker. and would say, wait, you shouldn't have them in this bright room with a kitchen refrigerator and a microwave and a massive espresso machine. So it's what works for you. It's what works for each of us. If we like the sound, if we're happy with the music, and we don't have to lust after the next big thing or that next big piece of equipment. Now, as you look at, there's a lot of channels on YouTube that are all about gearheads. It's almost to me like watching those HGTV shows about renovation and these beautiful, modernist houses and homes and things. And you kind of lust after that. Do I want all that stuff? No, I watch those audiophile equipment review lifestyle type shows too, and I enjoy looking at the gear, and but you really can't hear it there. You can't hear the gear here. The sound of this room is really wonderful. If you beat it to 10 other rooms, it would be a difference. You might like a deader room better, but we're not being that. We're not doing that. I don't do that very often, even with my multiple pressings. I don't B. So long-winded dissertation here about the state of my room in 2021, the state of my listening room in 2021. This is what I enjoy. I like to be here. I like to live here. I like to just, enjoy the music. And the music comes first, whether it's a wonderful audiophile pressing or a used record from my friend's Coleman's collection or my own collection. It's about the music. The music is always first. So I'm a musicologist. I'm a music file. I wouldn't call myself an audiophile, but I enjoy good sound. So thanks for watching. And you want a little more Japanese pop to close this out?